Yes, yo, that's Madchild right there, and we've got him on the air right now. How's it going, brother?
What up? How you doing, brother?
Very good, very good. You're out on the road right now, road warrior, as always, killing it. How's things going on the road?
Well, besides the 14-hour drives and snowstorms doing 140, so we can make it to the show, it's been great. Yeah, like, it's crazy because I just did 28 shows 3 months ago, and now I'm doing like 41 shows 3 months later, and all the clubs are packed. They've been full. It's like, I feel blessed every time I get on stage that like 3 months later I'm able to come back to my home country and still get the same love. Like, it's pretty amazing, and I just want to thank everybody, and everybody's been having a crazy fun time. It's been an amazing tour.
Word up. Yes, it looks like it. I've been checking the pictures and following it online. Looks like you're having a good time out there. The fans are having a good time. You're just around, like you said, 3 months ago and killed the tour then and back again. And in the meantime, in between time, you're taking a tour out to Australia, right? How'd that go?
No, actually, what happened was I pushed that back. So after this tour, I go to do 10 days in America. Then I do a month in Europe with Demrick. Then I come back for another 10 dates in America. Then I go to Australia April 28th for 10 shows.
Holy.
So I pushed back the Australia tour because when that whole little battle thing was happening with that no-name rapper, I was on tour, pardon my language. So I was on tour. So it was like really like impossible for me to like respond, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you explain to 15-year-old kids that you're like doing shows back to back and driving 10 hours a day? Like, it's just like not possible. You know what I mean? Like, so I had this crazy fire in me when I got back. So I wrote like a whole album in like 12 days, and then jumped back on tour. So
that's how you do it. Bang out an album real quick and back on the road. No stops, and the tour schedule just keeps piling up. You're definitely one of the I guess most veteran touring artists that are out there right now, as far as that goes. Like, you don't really stop, it seems, as far as the road. You just keep going and continue to build the markets. How's things looking for you guys in Europe? This tour that you got with Demrick coming up, you looking forward to heading out there and doing some shows like overseas?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I've done like a bunch of festivals and been out with Swan a bunch of times, and I went out with Step Brothers, Evidence, and Alchemist before and stuff, but and I went out with Dilated before, but this is my first headlining tour, so I'm excited about that. I know we got a real good following. Like, at least I know I've got a good following in Europe, so I'm excited. It's kind of like, you know, like Australia, the shows are crazy, like as crazy as Canada, or even sometimes crazier. Like, I'm pretty lucky. Like, same with like a lot of parts of America, like you know, like from wherever, Boston to Colorado to Salt Lake City to Seattle, like all over America. Like, I'm really lucky. It's the same thing. So it's like, I guess I keep touring because it just feels like it keeps building what I'm doing, and I'm fortunate enough that I can go all over the world and like still like do exactly what I do in Canada. So I think it's like, it's just a realization I've had that not a lot of rappers can do that. So I do it, you know, and I love it. I travel with my dog, so I never like really, except for when I go to Europe, I guess in Australia, but like through North America, she's always with me, so I don't ever really get homesick. And it's either that or the studio. You know, I'm just the type of guy that has to stay busy. Now I own half a vape juice company, Madchild Vape Juice, and that's just blowing up. So I'm like real thankful. So it's like I get to be like I get to go check out like stores and lounges that I want to be in and I want to sell to when I'm in every city. So it like kind of gives me like a double thing every day, and it's just for me, like with who I am and my addictive personality and shit. It's better just to what's my language? Sorry, it's better just to be super busy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. No, I can 100% agree with that for myself. I don't really like those patches where things get slow. I can't really have a lull at all. It just makes me get antsy and need to get up and do something. You got to stay in a perpetual state of movement, especially in this industry where you can get, swallowed up real quick by the next person that's working harder. You got to always continue to stay on your toes, put out more product, and always continually tour. But it's definitely good for you, like you said, having that realization that not many rappers do, that there's like a whole world out there to travel to and to expand your music to. You don't have to just stay in Canada or in the US or in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? You can get out there and really get that going. It's just a matter of continually doing it.
Really, you're a grinder. I know you're a grinder from the years I've known you, but that's really important for like younger rappers that are listening. Like, you're not going to make it being the local opening act in your city only. Like, you have to get out there and tour, whether it's getting in the van with your friends and sleeping on people's couches through Facebook or whatever. Like, you got to get out there and tour. That's just like a piece of advice from me to like, because there's so many rappers these days. Like, but like, just the internet and like being a local opening act and like being known in your city, like, it's not gonna make it. And I've seen so many rappers that are talented that thought that was enough and like enjoyed the limelight of just being in their own city and never getting up to leave the city. Just listen and trust me. Like, you have to get out there and tour as much as possible, whether you're the opening act or whether you're paying to play or getting grants from the government. Whatever you got to do, you got to get out there and you got to be seen in different markets. It's really important.
It's crucial, definitely. It's dope to see you're out on the road so much yourself, especially touring by yourself. You are, of course, a member of Swollen Members, one of the best hip-hop groups here in Canada. I just seen some information being released recently that you guys are going to be re-releasing the old albums Balance and Bad Dreams, I believe it is. They're coming out near the end of this month, I think, right? Can you talk a little bit about how that all came together and the whole Swollen push?
Yeah, well, we're gonna push it back a little bit. I don't think now is quite the right time, but it is coming out for sure in the next little bit. We got Risk, which is a personal friend and one of my favorite artists. I collect a lot of his art. He's like one of the most famous graffiti artists from LA, from TSL crew, Seventh Letter, and he revamped the art for Balance and Bad Dreams. So it's pretty cool for like a collector. And there's a lot of people out there that haven't been able to get Bad Dreams or Balance for a long time, especially on CD. So it brings back memories for people. And it was a different time of life, and it was in some ways it was a better time in life. Life was just a little easier. Life was just a little, I don't know, maybe it just brings back some youth for people as well, So I think people are going to appreciate us re-releasing the back catalog, and like with cool new artists and stuff like that. There's like dope prints you can get, like limited prints from Risk that you can get with it as a pre-order and stuff. So it's just a fun thing you do. Like, Swollen will put out another record, but when we do, we want to bring out the big guns, get really, really put our all into it. And like right now I'm just on a non-stop Madchild mode, and I've already got 2 albums done. I've got a whole album produced by Evidence finished. I just finished my next album called FTW. You can figure out what that stands for. And I got a super ill artist to do the cover. And like I said, I did it super fast, and I've got crazy cameos on it. Who's on it? I've got Apathy's on it, Ill Bill, Slain, Evidence. I can't even think of everybody that's on it, but like all spitters. But I think I want to like go back and spend a little more time on it still, because I'm listening to it and I'm like, yeah, I could put this out as ill, but like I want to make sure it's like super ill. So when I get back, I might take like another month after Australia and put like another month's time into it and really pick the best songs. I could put it out now; it's crazy, but I think it's always better to make sure you come out with your best foot forward.
100%. And it's also like, give yourself some time in between projects, homie. Like, you keep dropping them left and right. So, the fans want some more.
I thought I took a break. I'm ready to go kill it. I'm about to go shoot. I'm about to go get ripped, get in shape, drop like 30, 40 videos in a row. I'm going to go do what I did when I started my solo career 3.5 years ago. I thought I was giving people a break. Like, trust me, man, I'm about to come out swinging soon. Like, I've been touring, so I haven't really been putting that much music out. But, like, these days, like, I don't really believe in, like, mixtapes. I'm not, like, a huge fan of or a believer in that. I've only done one. It was the first project I did as a solo artist. The reason I don't believe in them is just because everybody does them. And I think that music should be worth something in some degree, whether it's people getting the music for free because maybe it's just easy to download and that's fine, or they stream it, or they just put it on their playlist, but they still come to the show. Like, and I just don't think mixtapes make a real impact. You know what I mean? So, like, I was putting out like EPs before instead of doing that. But my main point is now, like, you think I put out a lot of musical videos now? This is nothing, man. But like, I've been like taking it easy right now. As far as I'm concerned, I've been giving it like a break for a little bit, breathing room, because I'm about to come out like harder than I've ever come. Like, it's going to be crazy.
What is kind of the fuel behind that fire? Like you said, you got back and you just went hard in the studio and started booking a lot of shows. What's kind of like some of the invigoration and passion for a lot of artists in this game? One of the crucial mistakes that they make is, giving up and just stopping when they're going. And what is the kind of thing that for you allows you to wake up every day and remember, like, I'm happy for what I've got, but there's still a lot of work to do, and I got to keep pushing and going hard. What are some of the things that keep you motivated?
Well, the fact that I already do extremely well, you know what I mean, is one thing. Like, I already have like an amazing fan base and an amazing family backs war. I have an amazing supportive fan base worldwide. So if I'm going to come to the same country 3-4 times in a year and they're all going to come back and more people are going to come each time, then why wouldn't I keep doing it? You know what I mean? But like, not every rapper's in that situation. I put in a lot of years to get to that place. I also came back from the dead. That I realized this is my second life. Most people don't get a second life. They don't get a second career. Most people will have to come back from losing $4 million from a drug addiction and then go paint houses or like sell real estate or whatever. I got to come back and like not only relive my dream again, but like do it as a solo artist, which is something I always wanted to do before, but it just didn't make sense because of Swollen's popularity. So it was like the guys gave me the thumbs up, and it's just my time. It's just my time to live my dream, and the guys are supportive about it. And it just keeps going up. So it's like, why would I slow down when I'm doing what I love to do, and it's just getting bigger and better? So I'm just excited to see. I guess the best way to answer that question without sounding like confidence is a good thing, but cockiness is not. So let me rephrase it. I don't want to look back on from my deathbed, 40 years or 50 years or whatever the hell that is. I don't want to look back and say, I could have gave it more. I could have gave it everything I got. You know what I mean? And if I was to like stop rapping like next year, I would have to unfortunately look back and go, I could have tried harder. I could have given it everything I got. I still haven't given it everything I got. And I'm already in a very thankful and blessed and incredible place and do extremely well from my music. So imagine if I really, really give it everything I got. So I just have like a 3-year plan right now where I'm just going to give it everything I got. And the worst that can happen is I'll just be in a better place than I am now. So I think I got nothing to lose.
Definitely nothing to lose at this point. And it's so important to just give it your all. A lot of people just try, you know what I mean? And if you really, really want something, you got to do more than just try. You got to really do and perform that action to make that thing possible and make it happen. And you've done it. And one of the biggest things, like you said, for people to remember is you have been given a second chance, a second life. You know, you went through some hard times and were able to overcome that. And now you're in a better place and making music consistently and doing it. How hard is it for you while you're on the road performing, touring and stuff like that to not fall back into those situations and circumstances that put you in that position where, like you said, losing, $4 million to a drug addiction? How do you stay above water now and maintain and float throughout this industry that's full of it and rampant with, drug use and people, having that at shows? How do you do it?
I'll break down the truth, and this is the truth. Because the one thing that really bothered me about that scumbag that came at me with that battle is that he said that I do cocaine. That was the one thing that really bothered me, because I don't do cocaine, and I'll tell you the reason why I don't do it. Is because it's not cocaine. It's crystal meth mixed with stuff that, like, kills pigs and, like, Drano and, like, 8% cocaine and ice and all these disgusting things cut up with baking soda or whatever the hell. It's not cocaine. I'm going to tell you straight up, if I ever go to Colombia one day, I'm going to try me some cocaine and see what real cocaine is like. Try it. I'm not afraid to say that. But I don't do that shit because people look like the Cookie Monster when they do it. Their eyes bulging out of their heads, and that doesn't look like a good time to me. It doesn't look like they're having fun. I don't want to be like walking around at 8 in the morning with the sun still up, being like, I can't go to sleep. Like I'm not interested in that. But I was sober for 3 years, completely sober, and prior to being an opiate addict, I was able to use drugs. Any kind of drug you can think of, I've tried, and I could take it or leave it. I was a normal person that could handle doing substances or drinking, and then, like, for instance, go on tour and drink for 2 months and then come home and not even have a drink for 2 months, not even think about it. So that's the kind of human I've always been. Now, with opiates, I would have never tried heroin, so I would have never become a heroin addict. But the ironic thing is I became a heroin addict because that's what Percocets and Oxycontin is. It's synthetic heroin. Mm-hmm. But when I started taking Percocets, there was no warning, that there was no epidemic, it seemed like an innocent thing to do. And this was back when I was younger and partying. We're going back like a long time ago. And it just, like I said, I could take or leave any drug or drinking. I could just take it or leave it. If we were going out partying and people were partying that night or popping ecstasy or whatever, then I'd do it. But it's not like I'd get up the next day and be like, I need to do it again. I wouldn't even think about it. I'd just go on with my life, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I am now at a point where I've decided, cool, I was sober for 3 years. Now, if I want to, I drink if I want to. So I don't want people to get the wrong message and think that I'm a poster boy for AA, because I'm not. I don't go to AA. I don't go to NA. Let's just get it out on the table. Let's just make it real clear. Because I'm not a liar. I'm not a person that... The only reason that I was not making it publicly known is because of so many kids who come up to me saying that my sobriety had helped them to get sober. So I was like, man, that's an amazing feeling, but it's also a crazy responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, if this guy's going to call me out and say that I do something that I don't, well, I'm definitely going to defend myself. But then now that the issue is obviously needs to be addressed, then let's just put it out in the air and make it clear. So I do take Valium. I have a prescription for Valium because I get anxiety sometimes, because I'm like a person that can get anxiety. So at times when I need it, I take Valium. And I drink sometimes at shows, and then I do lots of shows completely sober. And that's as far as it goes with me. I don't smoke weed because it makes me paranoid. Believe me, if I could smoke weed, I would. I'd love to smoke weed with y'all, and I think that's something that comes from from God's green earth is not a negative thing. What's in one away or whatever. But I personally can't smoke it because it makes me paranoid. So, like I said, I don't do cocaine. I don't smoke weed. I don't do ecstasy. I've never tried promethazine or purple drank or whatever they call it, because I know if I try it, I'm going to like it. You know what I mean? Because to me, it looks like it would make you feel the same way that Percocet and Oxycontin does. Like, to me, it just, from what I hear in the songs, and the same with Molly, like, it's like I remember enjoying ecstasy when I was younger, and Molly is like a pure form of that, like without the speed and shit in it. So I've never tried it. So I just, like, you know what I mean? I'm just smart about what I do. So that's how I handle things. And like I said, when someone comes up to me and their eyes are popping out of their head or their jaws are grinding back and forth, that doesn't make me want to do whatever it is that they're doing. Like, I enjoy doing the shows, rocking the shows. If I meet a nice girl, dope. If we have a couple drinks, dope. Or I have no drinks and have a great time, as much or even more fun at the show. Come back, watch a movie with my dog, and I'm happy. So there's everything on the table. I got nothing to hide. That's what I do. That's what I don't do. I apologize to people that thought that I was completely sober for the last year, but I just didn't want to. My concern was that if there was really people out there, like, depending on my strength for sobriety, just because I've gone 3 years sober and now I know I'm at a point where I can take things or leave things and live a normal life, doesn't mean they're ready to do that. So I didn't think it would be a responsible thing for me. I thought that was something, first of all, it's my life and I'll do what I want. But I didn't think that was something that I should necessarily, announce too often. I made a couple little announcements about it, but I didn't go overboard because there's a lot of people that I don't want to screw up somebody else's life because they look up to me, you know what I'm saying, and they're telling me that I'm the reason I got sober, but because that scumbag called me out, and I know even personally I know somebody that personally to you tried saying that I do the same thing. That's how much I hear. I got long arms and my ears hear everywhere, trying to say that I do that stuff. So I like to make it clear on the air what I do and what I don't do. I got no reason to lie about anything.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate you clearing the air on that, but I do feel what you're saying 100%, that it's almost like a gift and a curse, your sobriety, in the fact that you're in this public position that you are, and people have to, like, they look up to you and stuff, and when you are sober, and people use that as their fuel to help their sobriety, when they hear that now you've got it under control and you can, maintain the choices that come in and come out of your life, whereas it's not that easy for other people. They might just throw their sobriety out the window when they hear that from you. But when you actually lay it out and explain the situation and let people know, like, look, I've been this long sober, I've got my time now, and I'm able to, to deal with it and control it. Not that,
and go back to being the person that I've always have been, and where I have friends now, like, congratulations to certain rapper friends of mine that had severe addiction problems, and now they're heavily into AA. But that's what keeps them sober. But that's just not the life for me. Like, they every day religiously they go to AA meetings. And
it's crazy. Yeah, it's intense.
No, and that's awesome.
For some people, it's okay, but some people go super, super overboard with it. I remember, like, just with the whole pins and the going. But for some people, they need it to really to stay sober. But for other people,
that's what they need. But that's what's most important. But what's most important is if it works for them, then that's great. I just didn't go that route because I didn't want to get addicted to another thing from another thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that it gets a little culty, but it saves people's lives. So I'm all for it. But I didn't choose that path because I'm not that type of an addict. I'm an opiate addict. I'm not I have an addictive personality. So do a lot of people. You know what I mean? But I'm not an addict where I have to, if I have whatever, a rum and coke, that I'm going to have to get a 40-pounder of rum and guzzle it and then get cocaine and get, and I have friends that couldn't take that one drink without ending up by the end of the night at 8 in the morning walking around in their underwear still drinking rum and doing cocaine. So if those people need AA, then good, that's great for them, you know what I mean? But like I said, and they've even said to me, they're like, you're not the same type of addict I was. I need this. And I was like, I get it, man. I appreciate it and I respect it and I think it's wonderful. But I use my music and going on tour and staying very busy as my therapy. You know what I mean? That's how I stay on par.
100%.
You know, for like I said, for a guy like me, sitting at home and like you said, sitting at home for 3-4 months with nothing to do would be not a good situation to put myself in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because boredom, idle time is the devil's plaything. Like sitting around with nothing to do. Like if you don't get up and create things to do when you got nothing to do, then you're putting yourself in a vulnerable situation. But when I go home, then it's like, okay, I'm going to make a 6-week plan. Let's start going to the gym every day for 2 hours. Let's record an album. You know what I mean? Whatever. Let's just keep it busy, keep it moving. So then at the end of the night, you can enjoy your drink or whatever and watch a movie. And you know what I mean? Or, whatever your thing is, take a bong hit or whatever you particularly do. But go get all your work done and work your ass off for 14 hours first,
Yes, you can, that is 100% true. Celebrate, but do it responsibly. You know what I mean? And use responsibly if you are using anything out there. Like nobody's gonna tell you what to do with your life. Everybody's your own person. We're grown human beings, and you can learn from your mistakes. If you do some stuff and then you learn that's not the path for you, then try something different and just be very careful and have a good friends support system, a network of people around you that care about you and will notice if things are going awry.
And the key word is moderation.
Yeah.
If you can't do something in moderation, then you should know yourself you shouldn't be doing it. And we live in a time now where from T-shirts to the music that the kids listen to are all about drugs. It's just a wave of popularity, and as long as kids are wearing tight jeans and rapping about drugs, then there's a good chance that they have a better chance of becoming popular. Like it's just the world we live in right now. 10 years or whatever ago was about being a gangster. You know what I mean? 10 years before that, it was about the love movement and stop the violence. You know what I mean? So like things come in waves, but like. And kids are their music is their life. Like your music, the music that you choose to listen to, it helps create who you are. That helps mold your personality. So there's going to be a problem with an overload of drug usage because it just happens to be a topic of popularity right now. There's nothing anybody can do to change that. And I love a lot of music was happening today. Although I'm an underground hip hop head, and I love AOTP and Alchemist, Evidence, and all the homies, Ill Bill. I love all that kind of music so much. But I like Fetty Wap, man. I like Drake. I like all that new music. I understand why people get turned up at clubs, and this music is great. It's fun to listen to. But excluding Drake, all that other music is just about drugs.
Yeah.
About just cooking up crack or popping Molly or drinking that purple drink. I mean, that's what's been popular for, the last 7 years, talking about drinking promethazine.
Yeah.
It's a pretty popular topic.
I didn't even realize it. One of my boys had to explain it to me in that one Fetty Wap song where he's like, I got the baking soda. I was like, what is he saying there? And he's like, yeah, he's got baking soda. He's saying, I got the baking soda. He's cooking crack right now. I'm like, what? And this is like the hottest song on the radio right now?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what trap houses is. That's where they sit and they sell it. So
it's mind-boggling.
Anyways. But it's just what it is. So like, I'm nobody's teacher, and I'm crazy. You know what I mean? Simple as that. I'm not normal. I think that's why I still have like a crazy, like young, whole new generation of fans, is because I'm not normal. Like I am. But anybody, I mean, how many of us really are normal? You know?
Yeah, normal's weird now. You don't want to really be normal. Normal's kind of just boring. Whereas you know,
I mean, a lot of people when they say they're normal are kind of just pretending. Is my point. It's like 1 out of 5 people has OCD. Like probably 1 out of a very small percentage of people deals with depression or aggression problems or whatever. So it's like I talk about other things in my music, like that as well, like that are real shit. Like it's just real. Like I am not normal. I am not pacifist. I am not I'm an aggressive person, but I've found like that it's okay to like let that wall down and let the light in a bit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not easy for an alpha male that like used to hang around with the most notorious, people in this country, and respect to them still, like great people. But like I tried to change my life for personal reasons. You know what I mean? But like when you break down that wall and when you let light in, like you see things like differently. But that most of the time is not going to happen for a 23-year-old kid. So it's just all a part of life. You got to let a 23-year-old or a 15-year-old be their age, and then you got to let somebody my age be my age, and you just hopefully grow and learn in life as you go. Because if you don't, then you got a problem. If you're 39, 40 years old like myself, and you're still living like you're 27, then guess what, my friend? It's too late. You missed the boat. You were supposed to have figured it out around that 30-year mark, 30 early 30s. Because if you don't figure it out around then you got problems. But, you gotta let the kids be the kids, man. So just be safe. That fentanyl stuff will kill you, as you know. A lot of people make fake drugs. Xanax, that Xanax is going around, is not real Xanax. If it's got a 2 on the back of it on a bar, just so kids know, it's not real Xanax. Just so you know, they look like bars, just like the ones in America. And the reason I know about Xanax is because it's in the same family as Valium. It's a benzoid. It's for anxiety as well, so that's why I know about it. But if you see them on the street and you're buying them and it's got a 2 on the back of it, you're not actually buying Xanax. And you can't even get Valium in Canada. So just make sure you know, because a lot of kids buy drugs off the streets. Just make sure you just be careful, man, because people they don't care if you die from it. Like, there's been like 40, 50 deaths in BC from people thinking they're taking oxys, and it was fentanyl. Like drug dealers don't care about your life, homeboy. Like, they don't care about it. They just want money. And if they can make that drug cheaper or get it cheaper and sell it at a higher profit, they're not coming to your funeral. Like, they're not sending your mom flowers. So just, kids are going to party. They're going to do what they're going to do. And I was crazy, and I've done more partying than probably all the people listening on this radio station combined. But just try to be a little smart. But, do what you're going to do. Just be careful, because it's a little bit dangerous, more dangerous than it was before out there.
Definitely, man. Definitely. That's good advice to people. Watch yourself, and in moderation, people. If you're going to use, just do it in moderation. Be smart about it. Don't be killing yourself. There's, like you said, there's many people that have been ODing and all sorts of stuff that has been happening recently. So just be careful while you're out there. And
that's not the kid's fault. The kid thinks the kid's getting one thing, and some devil is creating up some other fake stuff that can kill them. That's not the kid's fault, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Thank you so much. So anyways, that's all I'm saying. But have fun, live life. Like I said, I'm nobody's teacher. I don't want to be your teacher. I want everybody to have a good time. Just be smart about it. So.
Be smart, people. Be smart. Word up, word up. And honestly, just just for me, man, I understand the whole beef and the battle situation went down and stuff, but it hurts to see, you know, that stuff as a bystander, a fan of both sides, you know what I mean, seeing you guys feud and stuff. So I know you're going to be like, nah, there's never going to be a chill situation between us, but I pray somewhere in the future you guys find a way to I don't know, talk or at least gain a mutual understanding of the situation, because in all madness aside that happened, I think the situation benefited both of you guys tremendously, just with the amount of press and coverage and just
I'll tell you what,
everybody talking about it.
And he hadn't been a sneaky piece of shit, and if I had been at home and he would have battled me when I was home, and I would have been able to reply and shoot a video and sit down for 8 hours and write a song every day and respond, then there would have been a possibility. But the fact that he lied about me without getting actual facts, the fact that he did things where school where I come from, you don't expose people's phone calls, you don't show public text messages, you don't make up fake things just for the hell of it and say it. For all those reasons, there will never be anything cool between me and him. But this is very important. Much respect to all Stomp Down Killers. I'm a battle axe warrior for life, but there's been Stomp Down Killers at every show that I've done across the country, and I ask all of them to put their hands up after I ask warriors to put their hands up, and I tell them all the same thing. We are all one. We are all here together. We are the only two crews in Canada representing the same thing: true, real, underground hip-hop, the preservation of it and the progression of it, and covering all the elements of hip-hop. So I got nothing but love and respect for Stomp Down Killers as a crew, but unfortunately, and I appreciate your prayers and I appreciate your positivity, I'm not interested in being on good terms with people that are so low-life scum, him and his manager, trying to say disgusting things about me on Facebook. I mean, I don't have to get into details. I'm pretty open about things, but I think that we've already had a pretty open discussion as it is. Yeah. But I mean, they have said things about me that made me so sick and disheartened that it actually put like a hole in my soul, that people would like make such disgusting lies about me that it actually made me like feel bad for like the human race in general. You
shouldn't take it like that though, because you know what it all is in the end. It's all theater, and it's all people saying things and blowing things out of proportion.
No. Trying to say that I put a roofie in a girl's drink is not promotional or funny or theatrical. I will kill someone for doing that. If anybody hurt a dog or an animal in front of me, I will murder them. If I saw anyone put drugs in someone's drink, I will murder them. So to say that I would do something like that,
yeah, that was uncalled for.
I get girls like a pop star, homeboy. Like, it's not a problem for me. What's that? A rock star. It's not a problem. Like, those two things are the one things that I would go blind and I will murder somebody for. And I don't mean murder like I'm going to jail for my life, but I mean they would be sorrier than they'd ever been in their life if I've caught anybody hurting an innocent animal or putting a roofie in a girl's drink. Those two things sicken me to my stomach. So I'm sorry, they went a little too far with the whole thing. I get the whole game of getting their kids to make fake accounts, getting a bunch of 14-year-olds to, all that stuff. Sure, yeah, that's part of rap battle, and that's no problem. That's just hip hop. All that stuff, I have no problem with. That's hip hop. That's dope. It was a battle. It's entertainment for people. I didn't take any of that stuff personally, but the few things that I mentioned are such low life and so horrible and full of jealousy and envy and yeah, I mean, he had a personal conversation with my tour manager here saying, I am the next Madchild. Like, the guy's like weirdly obsessed with me. Like, I'll say it right here. I mean, I've had phone calls with this guy 5 times of him and Mercury's apologizing to me, apologizing to Rocco for doing it and saying stupid things on Facebook. And every time I was like, no problem, man. We'll just let it go, water under the bridge. But then I got text messages saying, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I was in a bad place. Do you think I went and exposed any of those things in my videos? I've got so much text messages and people that could sit down and say the conversations they've heard him have where I say, you think you're better than me, Snack? He's like, no. And I was like, you want to battle me? He's like, no. I could have exposed him so much. I don't play those games. I guess I'm saying it now because we're talking about it. It's a conversation, but I'm not going to. I come from a school where you don't do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they just took like this little 14-year-old approach at it. So 14-year-old kids all jumped on the bandwagon. But if you ask any adult who won that battle, I smashed them because I kept a code of honor. I kept it respectful, and I kept it with strength, class. I kept it with class. I kept it hip hop. I kept it street. I kept it from a school that I come from, and so you're gonna have no dry snitching and all that stuff. Where I come from, dry snitching, that's called rape. What's called what? Yeah, calling rape without paperwork, homeboy. It's like where I come from, you just don't do things like that. So, maybe I took those things a little more personally than a 15-year-old kid that doesn't understand that because they weren't taught by maybe an older brother or something like that. And it's okay. It's a different generation now, and I'm glad it is. I'm glad that kids are more hipsters instead of gangsters. That just means there's less violence in the streets. What's that? Yeah. I'm talking out loud on the radio.
Okay. But yeah, there definitely is that code of the streets and code of ethics and stuff like that as far as certain things goes. And in the battle world, and when it gets to that, it seems like all lines go out the window, and it's like you can it's a free range as far as what to do when trying to gear up your ammo to shoot at your opponent. And sometimes there's things that get said.
We didn't set up a battle, is what I'm trying to say.
No, it all happened out of nowhere.
They knew I was on tour. I did something where I took down 2 minutes later and was like, that was stupid of me, just because I had heard it. He was talking crap about me. And then I took it down 2 minutes later, and then I called just like they had called me 5-6 times to apologize. And then, boom, they took that opportunity and turned it into something. That wasn't a battle. They tried to assassinate my character when I was not in a situation to respond. So if they would have said, if it would have been like, oh yeah, you want it, let's go, you know what I mean, in a fair situation, then it would definitely be shake hands at the end and no hard feelings, because that's the kind of person I am. But it's very few people in life that I have that much disrespect for. But unfortunately, I don't think you're ever going to see that day of us shaking hands, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. Exactly. And like you said, on the road, as long as, backs worn, stomp down fans aren't decapitating each other or causing any problems, everybody's still love.
They know every night I say is that we're all here together and we're all here for the same thing. And I expect Back's War members, they can go to his shows because his fans are coming to my shows, and it's all good. I make a joke about him after every speech every night, but and people laugh, and I rock the show, and that's it. But otherwise, I get the message across. This has nothing to do with both crews, and these are positive movements. We are not gangs, and there's been no violence because of it, and I'm very thankful about that, and it must stay that way. Everybody this is hip hop. This is not gang shit. This is positive shit for kids. It's positive movements. That's why we started this, families, and it's because we all have the same thing. We love real hip hop. So on that note, my brother,
that's what it's about, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you letting it all out. I know this was a little bit longer than we usually do our interviews, so I appreciate you taking the time to fully explain everything. And I didn't even plan on that happening, but thank you for letting it out. I appreciate it, and we'll definitely connect soon. I'll be out at your show in Toronto on Saturday night, so I'll check that. We'll plug the dates for the tour here on air, and we really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
My G, thanks for having me. Thanks for everybody listening. Yeah, I'll be at the Rock Pile in Toronto, so it's going to be a crazy show. Thanks, man. Much love.
All right,
thanks,
take care.
Robbie.
Peace.